Well, wonder how much of that I got. One of these days I'll learn to manage this mic. See, as I touch it without having learned anything. I'm being deceived by my use of the term grad. Grad is just the variable name I'm using because I'm going to reuse this huge stack of globals I've built up. And thinking about this, this is how grad would turn out in this circumstance, and it's not right. And I think that I need to save this masterpiece, obviously, for posterity. Posterity? What is that word? I will not look it up just now, but I will admit I'm not sure what I'm talking about. No, then I'll do save as. The thing that I'm going to get to. Oh, do not. Okay, right. What? This. Sorry. Let me do one thing at a time. Oh, beautiful. Okay. That was my setup there. And the way that I'm figuring out grad, that is the way it would come out. If I think about the sort of the quadrants of what x, well, the dx and dy end up being, I am saying grad is dx divided by dy. In here, this is negative dx, negative dy. That's positive dx, negative dy. Right, yeah. Negative values close to the top of the screen. This is negative dx, positive dy, and this is positive dx and positive dy. If the more vertical line drawing routine is in operation, so to speak, the line is travelling more vertically than it is horizontally, then if the point is in this quadrant, then I do want grad to be positive, because as the line counts down the screen, the x value is going to be increasing, x plus grad. If the line leads into this quadrant, I also want, the grad value to be positive, because the x value steps in this direction as the y value decreases. In this quadrant, I want the grad value to be negative, because the x value steps in this direction towards the left of the screen as the y value decreases. And in this quadrant, I want the g value also to be negative, because the x value decreases as the line steps down the y-axis. So, in the case of the upper left quadrant, as I was drawing into in that last example that I ran, I'm dividing a negative by a negative, which gives a positive. Done it. I'll demonstrate it. Let's look at that example. That might be -1, -4. 1 minus divided by 4 minus equals 0.25. Look, I just did that. That's not right. That will bring it up into this quadrant, as I found out. And in this quadrant, if I imagine that the spot was there, that would be +1 divided by -4, which is, so this divided by this gives positive, this divided by this gives negative, this divided by this, that gives a negative, and I will just absolutely demonstrate it, that if the point was down here, that would be -1x, +4y, so 1 minus divided by 4 is, gives a negative. When I do the actual division, gives a negative. And down here, where I say positive and positive, if the point was here, that would be +1x, +4y, 1 divided by 4 gives positive. So in these cases, the sign is correct. The sign that I get when I divide and that I want in the gradient is correct. And in these cases, the sign is opposite. Is it as simple? Well, I mean, it's just annoying to me. It feels like, obviously there's the obvious answer, which is I just say, okay, fine. In here, if, I could add a line after here which says, if dy is less than 0, which is to say if it's in the upper half, of this situation, multiply grad by -1. I mean, I could also build it in. I'm always uncertain about this, but okay, I kind of see that this is what I need to do. Unfortunately, I wish I understood the logic of it a bit better. It's just because this is not a gradient, it's just the step value. Basically, when this, I could do something like this, which is multiplied by the sine of, multiplied by, it's like, there's a bit of logic I could do here. But I just don't know if I'm going to. This is one of these situations where I'm doing so many little choices, where I could just say, I'm doing so many choices in all of the code that's getting to this point. If dy is less than 0.0, grad times equals -1.0. And it is one of those situations where I think to myself, is the little bit of logic that I would do here, it's like, the bit of logic would be something like times -1.0 times the sine of dy equals -1.0. It's like I know that there's, it's not gonna like that, is it? Can I do that, mate? I should be able to. Types must be numeric. How would I do that? How do I think I know what it means there. It's like, yeah, you can't put that in there, but I can somehow, can't I? Anyway. Right, I think that this is going to start giving me a right sort of result, but I'm not tremendously happy with it. But let's see what it does. Let me think about the next thing as well. Yeah, assuming that this bit works. Look at me getting ahead of myself. Let's just go for it. Well, there's a gap of 2 at the top of the line. There's a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the left of the top of the line. Of the top line, so to speak, the second line. This line also has the correct 2, 3, 4 number of gaps. What happens if I put that there? It goes to more or less the right place. It looks like these lines are more or less where I would want them. If I put that there, it goes to the right place. What if I put it here? It goes to the right place. In the lower part? Right, yes. It went to the right place. I'm just going to carry on exploring the places I know it's going to work. Here, haven't I? I'm giving it round numbers. I'm making it easy for it. That is not correct. Okay, I'm making an error about that. And this is a situation where, okay, yeah, come to think of it, I need to do something similar. This is a situation where it's more horizontal than vertical. I wonder if I'm just going to not think too hard and make the same change. Drive myself insane with my mouse first, obviously. If dx is less than 0.0 grad times 0.1 times equals minus 1.0. Yeah, I'm just gonna not think too hard. That's never caused me problems in the past. At the moment I'm still just toying with this. Really all I'm doing is checking the line drawing stuff because I'm not testing any. Okay, let's just have it. It looks suspiciously fine. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, all the way up here. It's all the way to the corner. Something that's more horizontal than vertical in the other direction. Goes all the way to the right hand side and in this quadrant. Goes to there. I know this quadrant works, I know this one does. In this quadrant. Goes to there. Now I can't avoid it any longer. I'm actually going to get rid of one of these and I'm only going to test one line. Oops. Let's just first off have this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gap 3 to this side, and there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, to that side. Okay, baby. Let's just start here. Instant fail. Okay. Now, let's not get too worked up. Starts at 0, ends at 0. Does not end at 0, mate. dx minus half. That's incorrect. In this situation, the dx should be positive, like, I don't know, 2.5 or something. dy should be 0, right enough. YD start is correct. Line start 0, and that is correct. Line end 0 is not correct. This is quite worrying in a way. Not sure how line end 0. Well, suppose you have and dy start is that. I've forgotten to understand that. Okay, well, let's first look at it's a totally horizontal line, so it's much more x than y. In this case, this was true, but that shouldn't matter because yd, I think, was 0. Should have been. And was. They both ended up getting set to 0. Maybe not a big surprise. So let's have a little look at the horizontal clip thing off the left hand side here. This line is horizontal because the y difference is 0. Oh, one moment. Okay. Right, let me check this. In this case, the line is horizontal. dx is definitely not 0. dy, pretty sure is 0. If left is less than 0, well, sx equals 0. That should yeah, be right. Well, yeah, those two I think are right. So I don't think it's coming in here for the sake of just moving to the next bit. If right is greater than, okay, it's not. Well, end x equals cx. Now see, I think that should be right. Sorry for smacking. I wonder if I should just stick something in here which says debug right. Horizontal. I'm a bit confused what to write. Just decided. This is a strange way of putting it, isn't it? OL SX horizontal, right just decided. Now, that is a strange way of putting it. It's like, not telling you what I did with the left, just that I just decided the right, and that it's on screen. And I've started compiling already, haven't I? Have I? No, I haven't. But, is on screen. No, it doesn't make sense. It's not the screen, it's the output. Still. I just want to see if at this point, OLEX, what are you saying? Ol, this ol, EX, SX. I'm just wanting to see if at this point it is getting apparently correct positions for the right and left ends of the line. The start and end. Yeah, start. Because this line is horizontal. I did have some kind of scheme for remembering the position of this window on screen, but I've never quite got round to seeing it through. O. Okay. Output line end X is minus 4.74. Well, that makes sense. I mean, that's what it came to. It equals CX, and CX is that. Oh, that's the beginning of the line, is it? Yeah. It doesn't equal CX, it equals the bloody... equals something like left or right, not this rubbish. Tisk, bloody tisk. Okay, the line's horizontal. I don't want that to be the previous... Oh no, yeah, no, that I do. Sorry. Here I want that to be that, or I want this to be left. Because I am just, I'm setting the left and right ends of this line. And in that case, I think it should be alright. And in this case, this should be right. Still don't quite like it, but actually it is the way I planned it, so I shouldn't complain. And up here, I am getting it right. Look, I didn't make the same mistake there. Okay, let's have another go. Excuse me one second. Okay. Show me what you got. You got the correct answer. Three from the end. Right up to the end. The same, without an overflow into the next. Looks very, very correct. Finishing 3 from the bottom. 4 from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not right. Where does it go wrong? It's at the top. Yeah, it's falling here actually. You see, this is 1 unit from the top here, and that's there. This is where I'm taking the integer. Yeah, 1 unit from the top, that's... I do not like the way that has been drawn. That went to the same place. Unless it's just stopped drawing. Let me see. Well, perhaps I'm asking too much of it at this resolution. Let's see what happens over here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 from the bottom, 3 from the bottom, 6 from the other side. And here. No overflows, 3 from the side, 3 from the bottom. And over here, 1 from the side, 3 from the side. Yeah, you see, I suppose, I don't know, I'm just, maybe, I'm maybe asking too much of it, like at this resolution, like I say. And here, apparently correct. Array index out of range. Why did I say it like that? I'm shocked. 1 second, I'm going to have coffee. Okay, well, we got there in terms of finding the next error. Along X, right, you must be joking. 0 to 10, well, I'm not kind of that surprised, because this is not an along X situation. Okay, now this is an this is an at an angle 2 intersection situation. But I'm just about coming up to half an hour, and I wonder. Let me have a little look. Array index out of range. I will say, okay, show me where. Data offset +1. Yeah, well, it would be there, wouldn't it? And it is line extends along X. And in that situation, it had figured out X to be larger than Y, but X was not larger than Y. This was a it checked the top and the bottom and got the sum wrong. Ends need to be found. It had checked the left and right, and I presume got it right. Although when I think about it, I think there was some situations left to right I didn't check. But here, really don't like that actually, now that I think about it. Y at x0. Well, maybe it's okay. I certainly know this bit did not work. X at y0 equals this sum. Probably wrong, eh? Right. Probably is, but I am going to come back to it next time. Some progress though.